Ok, se cortó, no pudimos despedirnos bien del profesor, no puede ser. Así que nada, le pedí unos minutos más. Si quieren me pueden dejar una pregunta acá abajo, por ahí se la deslizo al profesor. Y nada, esta es la última oportunidad para poder hacerle una pequeña pregunta al profesor y nada, por ahí se la deslizo por ahí abajo para que nos la responda. Así que vamos ahí otra vez, nuevamente. Les voy a activar para que puedan hacer sus preguntas. Listo, ya está. Ahí vamos a... Voy a aceptar al profesor. Voy ahí está, estamos. So here we are
Estamos aquí.
again,
Here we are.
Federico.
No, okay. It was a pity to interrupt like this. So we guys, if someone has some question, we are here. And Ariel
In,
is a very good guy. So I want to, if we want to add some comments for some minutes, I'm here.
Instagram interrupt or
Yeah,
say
I know.
goodbye.
After 1 hour, Instagram is Switzerland. Is cutting in 1 hour is sharp. O podemos hablar en español también porque necesito de hacer un poquito
Mm.
de charla, un poquito de práctica. No,
I have
sí,
to be honest with you. Your Spanish is
no,
so
no.
good.
No lo estudio, ma lo entiendo porque lo escucho cuando vado a hacer el curso en España, en
En
Madrid.
España,
Vado a
sí.
escuchar el traductor que va a hablar después de mí.
Usted
Entiendo
va mucho a Barcelona, ¿puede ser?
no, en Madrid
A Madrid,
más,
ok.
sí. Tengo una charla que con el lockdown no hemos podido hacerla en Barcelona, ma en Madrid muchísimas veces, sí, muchísimo.
Tu
En,
español es bueno, es bueno.
no,
You need,
lo
you
entiendo
need to
más.
feel, you need to feel comfortable with that,
Yeah,
and that's it. That's
yeah,
it,
yeah.
because it's good.
Yes, I need to learn more grammatic, more words, but yeah, I can understand quite well, yeah.
Okay, okay. So I wanna need some question because when you say we need to protect some cuspidal for the forces and for the occlusal load, but and you say we have some measures, 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters in
Yeah,
the
this is
low
yeah,
vital.
very good point. This is why I'm happy to have some extra minutes because maybe
Mhm.
we can fix some concept that
Mhm,
guys for me
yes,
is very interesting.
going to that detail.
Okay, uh, when we do the cavity analysis, the cavity configuration, we follow some rules. We
Mhm,
follow some articles that are not the highest level of scientific, okay,
mhm,
but the science, but in the same time is something that can lead us, can give us
mhm,
directions. So what we do in our protocol is once we miss,
mhm,
okay, some different areas,
mhm,
structures of our tooth, like
mhm.
interaxial dentin and the two ridges, the thickness of the cusp in a vital tooth should be at least 2 millimeters.
Okay.
Okay, 2 millimeters for
Do you
if
have
is
any instrument to
yes,
measure that?
there is a direct caliper like the one that the dental technician are using a caliper that
Yes.
is like
It's a
a
very cheap.
plier.
It's a very cheap
Yeah,
instrument.
and then you can go and usually you take the measurement exactly under the cusp in the thinner part under the cusp. Okay, when you
Okay.
are okay, when
Mhm,
you have a non-vital tooth, this minimum thickness under a
mhm,
cusp is going up until 3 millimeters.
mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
so in a non-vital posterior, if
Mhm,
you miss maybe ridges, you have the
mhm,
vitalized tooth. If you see that you have less of 3 millimeters, guys,
mhm.
not good. You have to do a coverage. This is why in the majority of the non-vital tooth, non-vital teeth in posterior, I prefer to do a cuspal coverage overlay in example. Okay.
And how many millimeters do you reduce of that cuspidal?
Good question. So, depends on the material that I'm going to use for the restoration. If I plan that I use a lithium disilicate monolithic, I prefer to do 1 millimeter, maximum 1.5 millimeters of reduction. If I use layered composite, like you have seen in the 2 previous cases, I prefer to reduce at least 2 millimeters.
Okay.
2 millimeters
that is because the strength of the material?
The strength of material, yes. The composite. And now, tell you the truth, you have seen this article that we call the ARG2, so is the Statistical Research Group 2, is one of our protocol. Now we are going to submit for publication on the same journal. Our ARG7 is one that is comparing the same. In this case, we changed the design. In the other case, we maintained the same design and we did direct overlay, indirect overlay, composite layer, indirect milled, indirect monolithic ceramic and intact tooth. And just to anticipating you, for sure, lithium disilicate is higher strength. More also the composite monolithic. And so if you want to do composite, milled monolithic or belayered, you need maybe 0.5 millimeter more. This is why we stay 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeters with the ceramic lithium disilicate monolithic, and then we stay around 2 millimeters if we do composite.
Oh, so we are waiting for that results.
Yeah. Also, that one is very nice. We are finalizing
about it. So let me go to the adhesive area. When you talk about sandblast, do you prefer any side of particle? Do you prefer drier sandblast or combined with water?
It doesn't matter that you do material wet, so water sandblasting or dry sandblasting. Usually, considering that we do in the lab, we do dry sandblasting. Usually for composite, you go in between 30 microns, 29 microns to 50 microns, aluminum oxide particles. You can also do a silica coating, that it makes sense, but it's not mandatory. Or if you do, this is another case that I have here in the presentation. If the is working, but if you do with
nice.
If you do with the lithium disilicate, you are not going sandblasting. The sandblasting is in the lab just to clean from the stone. But then you do, like for veneers, like for anterior area, you do hydrofluoric acid etching with, in this case, 20 seconds, 5%. Then post-etching cleaning, so phosphoric to clean the hexafluorosilicate, ultrasonic bath, then dry, silane, bonding, and you can see here the packable material.
Nice.
Okay.
Do you prefer 5% of hydrofluoridic for something, or?
Because lithium disilicate is quite strange to fix in mind, because you say, okay, it's stronger, yes, but at the same time is also the crystalline part could be more destroyed by the fluoric acid etching. Okay, so you need to be less aggressive compared to phosphatic. With the phosphatic, you use 9-10% for 90 seconds, according to Magnier, to others. But to the lithium disilicate, you need to be more gentle. So 5%, 20 seconds is more than enough. Like for veneers or crowns.
Okay, nice. So let's talk about a little bit when you, for the selection of the bonding agent. Do you prefer any total edge bonding agent system, or do you prefer a selection agent bonding agent?
What for me is more important, if you want to be sure, to have a system like 4th or 6th generation that has a separate bonding from the primer,
Perfect.
both on the tooth and on the restoration. Because on the restoration, you don't need the primer, because the primer is for dentin, not for
Before
material.
dentin, yes.
And on the tooth, you do the hybrid layer on dentin after you did the preparation. Okay, after you did you do the build up after you cut the dentin, you do it. So after that, for the cementation, you don't need any more ideally, because the dentin is already sealed. You did a sort of immediate dentin sealing thanks to the build up. So for this reason, I prefer to have a separate bonding. So favorite one is Optimum FL, very old one, but very good. Or you can use, if you want to have this 6th generation, you can use SE Bond from Kurerai. And Optimum FL is from Care. Anyway, I'm using also with a big satisfaction, in example, universal or multi-mode like 3M Scotchbond Universal. But usually I don't use for this purpose. I prefer to use for 5th class or for other things, but not for the cementation. You can do, but in that case, you have primer and bonding together in the same solution.
Do you hear something about chlorhexidine and as factor to inhibit the MMP? What do you think about it, and what is your point of view?
I'm using chlorhexidine for this purpose. Tell you the truth, before 2008, I didn't use it. So first 8 years of my practice, I didn't use it. And the rest of my practice, I used in every vital teeth. Tell you the truth, I cannot tell you, oh, come on, thanks to the chlorhexidine, I saw a huge difference, okay? But anyway, it's an antibacterial, it's good to use it, and I trust to some literature. There are some literature from Leuven, from other schools that say, okay, after 6 months, it's not very effective, but there are other studies from Bologna, from other universities, they're saying that until after some years, anyway, you can see some benefits on the metalloproteinases inhibition. So
and do you use when you apply the total age and the selection enamel in both techniques?
I use in both techniques, yes. The idea that chlorhexidine should be applied before primer. So if you use a 6th generation, you have a self-adhesive 2 steps. Before putting acidic primer, you use chlorhexidine. If you use in a 4th generation, after the etching, you use chlorhexidine, then the primer. If you use a 5th generation, you put etching, you put chlorhexidine, and then you put primer and bonding. Okay? But the chlorhexidine is nice while investigated in a more old or more classical type of adhesive system.
Okay, Federico, you are answered all our questions.
I try to do my best.
you bring to life to our life. So we don't have more questions. Let me see if we have another one. Yes, what kind of build-up do you use? The people try to figure out. But you answered that question before.
Yeah, guys, what for me is important is to do a small layer of flowable, because with the flowable we increase the wettability.
Are you okay, Federico?
Yeah. I'm old, but
you're still alive?
Yeah, I'm still alive. Yeah, coronavirus at the moment is not affecting me. So the idea is to create this small layer with good wettability of the surface. Then we go with the packable material. It doesn't make sense that you use for a high shrinkage like a flow for the full buildup. Just the small part, you increase the wettability, you fix, you cure it, and then you put the packable one. You can use bulk material, you can use a low shrinkage material, or if you do 2 layers, 2 millimeters layers, you can use any type of packable filling, normal filling, restorable material. Okay.
Maybe the last question.
Do you prefer universal adhesives or self-etch for direct? For direct restoration, it depends on the amount. Anyway, you can use universal adhesives, yes. Tell you the truth, my biggest experience in direct restoration is with etch and rinse 3-step, 4th generation. So etching, primer, and bonding. Etching, primer, and bonding, but etching, chlorhexidine, primer, and bonding separate. But anyway, to have self-etch like 6th generation with the acidic primer and separate bonding can be very stable. But anyway, guys, some universal materials are performing very, very well. Yeah.
And let me know. Sandwich.
What do you think about close or super close? Okay. The close, this is very important when you do a direct restoration. The close and the open sandwich technique, it means that if you have a closed sandwich technique, if you do not with glass ionomer cement, but you do with a flowable, it means that you cover the dentin, you finish before the enamel, until the enamel, and then you cover with the packable material, also the margin on enamel on the cervical area. Open sandwich, it means that you arrive with the flowable until the end of the cervical margin, at the proximal cervical margin, and then you have a layer of flowable, and then you cover it with the packable, but the flowable arrives until the external part. Usually I prefer to do closed sandwich technique, and I prefer to seal my enamel margin with packable material. But if you have cervical margin on dentin, there are, according to some studies, you can arrive with the flowable material until the end of the margin, and then you do an open sandwich technique, because you can seal and you can wet better the dentin margin.
Perfect. For a flowel composite, do you prefer a high filler flowel composite or a normal? It's okay.
Are you saying in Spanish, high filled? How you say in Spanish? I need to
alta carga.
Alta carga. Alta
sí, carga o baja carga.
Porque son carillas, incrustaciones,
sí.
grabado ácido.
Grabado ácido, muy bien.
Palabras, no sé cómo decir high field. Okay.
Te van quedando en tu mente, muy bien.
Sí, porque necesito de aprender. Yes, I feel that definitely there is no sense to use all the flowable low field. From a clinical point of view, there is any meaning to use all the no high field flowable material. Definitely. Yeah.
So again, Federico,
okay, guys, this type of sharing is very nice, and thanks to you, Ariel, because this is a good initiative. I'm doing a lot of sharing with some guests. Next week, I have Julian Conejo from Pennsylvania. I will talk about on Wednesday about direct composite veneer. With Newton Fall from Brazil, we will talk on Friday. Yes, about, and what is, the beauty of the generosity of people that are sharing for free. You are a professional, Ariel. I'm a professional. Usually, to do a lecture or sharing, we are paid because it's our work. It's like you are a dentist, you do a filling, you are paid for your filling. Okay, yes. But this is a delicate moment, guys. We are locked down. People are stressful. People are focused on something that could happen. So I think that this is a nice way to be helpful to our colleagues, to the other people in a very difficult moment. So our happiness is conditioned by our attitude, not what happened around. If you are healthy, you have to be grateful because you have everything. Even if you are locked down in your house, even if you are lose money because you are not working, be grateful because someone is suffering, someone died already, and then enjoy every single thing that you have in your life. Really.
Beautiful word, Federico.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Very emotional word from you. Thank you for this. I don't know. Stay safe. Be careful.
Keep in touch. Keep in touch, Ariel.
Keep in touch. We always talk about
you are one of the few people I follow on Instagram. You know, I don't follow so many. I follow just few people on Instagram, something like 120, and you are one of those.
Oh, thank you. It's a great honor. It's a great honor to hear that.
Yeah, but since some years, yeah. Good to have this. Good to have this sharing with you and with your followers, with your friends. And so, stay safe.
Thanks safe for everything. And be careful, and your family. Reward.
Thanks. You too. You too.
Thanks
ciao, guys. Ciao, everyone. Have a good evening. For now is night here, and for you, you have the sun, so enjoy the evening.
Enjoy your night.
Thanks a lot.
Your family.
Thanks a lot.
A big hug, my friend. Thanks for all.
A big hug. Ciao, un abrazo fuerte.
Excelente tu español, me encanta.
Ciao.